Kirby. What's the first thing you think of when you see him? Some probably are drawn towards him being pink. Others may say he is cute, but I think we can all almost unanimously agree that one thing true about Kirby is he's simple. Kirby exists as both a message and a symbol to new players. How? Well, we're going to take you through that today, going through his past, his concept, his games, and his Smash Bros. Appearance. Oh, Cat. Kirby may seem simple, but the reason that he sucks is because the players suck. With the company HAL, the young Masahiro Sakurai's first game was Kirby's Dream Land for the Game Boy. This game was designed specifically to be catered to beginner players, which I'd hazard to guess corresponded with the design values of the Game Boy to be a simple, portable gaming device. This is where the young Sakurai would develop a value that would follow him through his whole game development career. Inclusivity. The nature that anyone can pick up a game and enjoy it, whether you're a beginner or a hardcore gamer. It's a reoccurring trait that exists in all the games Sakurai has directed, as he likes to take a genre and challenge its design. Sakurai writes in a 2003 Famitsu article that he initially designed Kirby with the idea of it being a one-button game, as he realized very early on in his game development career that most games on the market, though straightforward to the veteran, are extremely complex for beginners. Sakurai is very passionate about this, so much so that he considers his way of thinking Kirbyism. Yeah, I don't know. It's essentially designing games for the less skilled, less seasoned players while still catering to players that want more out of their games. For example, Kirby's Adventure, you could complete it through just inhaling and flying your way to the goal, but intermediate players could, if they wanted, find unique copy abilities, achieve higher bonuses, and find different ways to complete the game. Not surprisingly, this value of Kirbyism is key to both the underlying and physical aspects of Kirby's design. It's no coincidence he's a pink ball with eyes. If he was, say, an anime character with a sword, he probably would be seen as less simple, less straightforward, and probably muddy. In many regards, his simple design fits the theme of a simple game. Kirbyism is not just restricted to the Kirby games, though. It's also in a game you know very well. For example, while there exist characters like Captain Falcon that are all about speed and precise hits for the experienced player,
and let me just tell you, I am so bad at this game. Do not even talk to me about it.
There also exist simple to use characters for beginners of the game, and what better character to teach you about Smash than Kirby? So let's take a look at Kirby's games and his history to see how they inspired his moveset in Smash. Kirby's Dream Land is the key place we can look for many of Kirby's moves and the origins in his design. As mentioned, this game built upon the design of other platformers. However, it tinkered with the formula so even beginners could have a good time with it. Many of these traits include having a health meter instead of being dead in one hit, having grabbable health in the stage, having multiple ways to defeat bosses and enemies, and having unique abilities that make the player feel safe. One of them is Kirby's most iconic ability, his Inhale. One of the biggest differences between Kirby and Mario-type platformers is the player can instead inhale enemies rather than jump on them. Now, jumping on them still technically works, just it damages you as well to let you know, hey, there's better ways to do this. And the ability makes use of Kirby's sprite by portraying what it does. You see his mouth arc open with wind lines signifying that you can suck enemies in. In Smash, alongside his copy ability, which we'll get into, we can see him do just the same, even to the detail where there's wind lines, and as he shoots an enemy out, they turn into a star. Next, and arguably most important, the player can fly around when they press the jump button continually. This feature is one of the biggest differences between platformers like Mario, where height and freedom such as this are often restrained or withheld to power-ups. And again, Kirby is often remembered in Smash by how many jumps he has. Sitting at 5, it's usually a Kirby player's delight to fly above the battle and avoid potential conflict. With these freedoms and differences from the norm, it allowed Kirby to be played passively in a way that made the game fun and satisfying. However, if players wanted to do other things, options are given to more advanced players so they can have fun as well. So now, let's get right into the moves. And being Kirby, he had a lot of references chocked full into his character, only because Sakurai is the creator of the Kirby series and Smash. He's got that Smash Brothers privilege. His daddy put him in Smash, gave him all this representation. Here, you get this Kirby, you get that, and oh, Ganondorf, you're black. Wow. Zelda, you're foreign. You're not getting nothing. Kirby has almost all of his costumes based off of something. This white one is based off the original Kirby box art. The yellow one is Miyamoto's preferred color choice for the character. And then the many copy abilities in the Kirby series inspire the rest, with even a reference to Meta Knight. This orange one doesn't reference anything cool. It actually just referenced the spray paint colors you can get in Kirby in the Amazing Mirror. And I mean, the list goes on. His walk and run come from the games. His idle is similar to his 2D games, but the nodding off is more prevalent in Kirby 64. His jump before he floats is from the games. His entrance animation makes reference to warp stars, which you use to enter levels. His side taunt, which references the animation that plays when you pick him in Smash 64. His victory animation, taunt, and even the victory theme coming from the Kirby dance he does in his games. His free fall, hit stun animation, knockdown animation. Also having a star pop out of the ground as he lands, as well as when he loses a copy ability. Man, Kirby just got done so right, just as Daddy wanted him. But what about Ganondorf? What about him?
Don't worry, my father never loved me.
I've become so numb, I can't feel you there.
But many of his concrete moves in Smash almost all make reference to the Kirby series' most popular trait. Copy abilities were a new ability Kirby gained in Kirby's Adventure, where they allowed him to swallow certain enemies to give him new attacks. This would go on to become one of the Kirby series' most defining traits and allowed for the gameplay to flourish past its beginner-friendly design. This ability is seen in Kirby's Neutral Special, where you can absorb the special move of any other Smasher. Of course, Sakurai thought about the players that would not want to keep their ability, so when you taunt with Kirby, it removes any copy ability. They even added the trait where if you get hit really hard, the copy ability gets knocked right out of you. Many of his other moves are references to some of his oldest and most iconic copy abilities. And boy, did you want a montage of moves? Because here they come! These would be his Final Cutter, as his up special and his only projectile. Hammer, his side special that received a charging ability in Brawl Onwards. That's a stone, Luigi! His down special, which references many of the stone transformations in Kirby, as well as making reference to a thwomp and a panel de pawn block. Fireball, his old dash attack, which was replaced with Yo-Yo, or rather his break spin, where he spins on his head, which replaces his dash attack and get up attack. Sleep, being referenced when he's put to sleep in Smash. Mirror, when he's behind his shield. Suplex, accurately being his forward, back, and down throws. Ninja, referencing the airdrop up throw. His Brawl Final Smash, where he puts all his enemies into a pot and cooks them alive. The Ultra Sword, his new Final Smash referencing the super abilities in Kirby's Return to Dreamland. And Fighter. This copy ability is one of the easiest to recognize in Kirby. For starters, his jab attack is taken from the Vulcan Jab, where he does an onslaught of quick, weak punches, which in Smash 4 accumulates with the combo finisher from the move. As well, we see this copy ability appear in his forward aerial, up aerial, and even his forward smash. Alright, so we're going to be taking a dedicated commercial break because I don't want to just fade into black on you, and we're going to come back and talk about a very big secret that's been hidden in Smash. I haven't seen anyone talking about it, I haven't seen anyone speaking about it, and it all ties back to Kirby. So stay tuned, and we'll get right into that. Welcome back, guys. So let's switch gears for a sec and not only talk about Kirby, but how he impacted the Smash series. There are many tangible and intangible elements of Smash that were greatly inspired from the Kirby series. I know I've seen falling through platforms, having multiple jumps, having multiple hits, etc. Point is, this all ties back to another game genre Sakurai wanted to redevelop and make more accessible to new players. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, Mortal Kombat. In the 90s, these were some of the most popular fighting games, but also some of the hardest. Come the N64 days, Mr. Sakurai and Iwata wanted to create a fighter that would be accessible to all types of players. This in turn led to the design of Smash Bros. And its many unorthodox fighting game conventions. 4-player battles instead of a strict 1v1. Percentages instead of meters, so death is ambiguous and never truly in one's favor. Multiple jumps and platforms to make it feel as if you're not restrained by your opponent or trapped. And items that, you're really just bullshit. Now, if you've been online long enough, you've probably seen these tensions play out. I know my first-hand experience was when Brawl came out and Melee players were just not having it, from pros to just people online. They could not fathom why Sakurai would change such a successful game formula of Melee into the floaty and crapshoot that was Brawl. And it was a crapshoot. But as I grew up and as I learned more about game development and Sakurai, and especially when I researched this video, I've came to realize that Sakurai did this because it was a core value that he's had all the way back when he was 19, making Kirby. It was because he wanted to make the game more accessible to everyone, not just the Fox and Falco mains, but people who didn't really have a fighting chance. And that is where Kirby comes in. Kirby in Smash was designed specifically with Sakurai's value of Kirbyism in mind. Except he would literally use the character of Kirby to teach players how to play Smash. And in many ways, it's similar to how he did this in Kirby's Dream Land, having a floating ability, having easy to understand abilities, and providing everything the player needs to win a match. But when it comes down to his moves, they're designed so well that they're intuitive enough to teach a player all the basics of Smash. Think about some of the other characters in Smash. Some of their moves aren't intuitive in regards to which direction you press or what button you press even. Like Mario's forward aerial, it sends you down, not to the side. Samus and Falcon's up tilt, it goes to the side. Villager's down tilt hits up, Pikachu's up air hits down. And Ganon's up tilt, don't even get me started.
Hey, a good stretch is vital to starting your day and ending the lives of anyone you meet.
Okay, not every move in Smash makes sense. Some of the moves have certain properties or looks to them that don't even follow how the move operates, but that's okay. That's what games like Smash are for, so you can discover what each character does and how they are used. But in terms of Kirby, he was distinctly designed from his head to his feet, to cater to new players who probably never touched a controller in their life. Alright, dipshit, you want to challenge me? You want to challenge the knower of thy moves? Alright, take a look. The A and B buttons are usually your two primary buttons on Nintendo controllers. On the N64, usually primary abilities lie here. So, for your A move, you literally do the most generic punch ever. But if you keep hitting it, you get more punches. Now, this wouldn't mean anything if it wasn't contrasted with the B button. This is where Sakurai makes the distinction between normal and special moves. Clearly, this move is giving all the stimuli that Kirby can suck up enemies. It's not a very typical move to inhale your enemies, so players will probably save it for special occasions. So just by these two buttons, you learn that A will give you straight up attacks and B will give you different ones with situational uses. Now, what happens when you start mixing in directions? Well, you'll see that Kirby teaches what each of the directions do in tandem with your normals. Usually newer players aren't too keen on tilts, so the next best thing are smash attacks. And all of Kirby's are intuitive. Down attacks to both sides, up attacks up, and forward attacks forward. Tilts are the same. Now how about mixing jumps to directions and attacks? Now you have even more options. And just like the other moves, a hitbox comes out in the corresponding direction. Now how do you know which moves to use in what situations? How do you know which moves are more powerful? You can see that jabs go quicker than tilts, and tilts go way faster than smashes. The time it takes for a move to come out correlates to the strength. See, you may think that the special moves are just niche and they're just references to his games, but I have to argue differently because even these special moves follow the directional principles that we see in his other moves. Take, for example, his up special. It sends you upwards. Now, you wouldn't think that an upward attack would actually send you up, but this special move is known as a recovery, and once you learn that that sends you up, well, now you know you can go upwards. Alright. The hammer. The hammer hits to the side of Kirby with the option of being charged. So, while you have a move that hits to the side of you, you have to know that it can be charged and it only hits in a certain spot. And the down special. This can only be used in the air to send you downward, a special ability. And on top of that, when you do the down B, you sometimes turn into a thwomp, a panda pawn block, anything. It's very cool and interesting to new players. And lastly, inhale. You may think, yeah, okay, this is an inhale. This is the specialist type of move you can get because who inhales their enemies? It's just weird and kind of kinky. But where it does teach you is it's basically a Costco free sample platter for everyone in Smash. I'm glad you asked. The taunt also tells you something about how to play Smash Brothers. What does Kirby do in his taunt? What does he do? He looks at you. He turns towards the camera and says hi to you. So this makes a one-on-one interaction with you and the character to let you know, hey, this isn't a move to hurt my enemies. It's one to annoy them. All in all, guys, that's Kirby. And boy, people were telling me, yo, this is going to be an easy video. Nah. Kirby was one of the deepest characters I ever had to research just because of how deeply his design values are rooted in his games and Smash Brothers. And if there's anything we can take away from this video, it's how we look at Sakurai. I know I have my fair opinions of him on some of the weird choices he's made in Smash, but if there's one thing that I truly am inspired by, it's his value of including any type of player. And I don't think Smash would be the game it is without that value. Ask anyone who plays the game. Professionals, the commentators, people like me, and even you. People love Smash because it brings all types of people together who love these characters and may have different backgrounds. That is all drawn from Kirby and Sakurai's value of Kirbyism. Wrong again, Cat! It's often overlooked that Kirby in Smash 64 is a very high-tier character, and I honestly think that comes from the fact that Sakurai over-designed him to be simple and easy to use. No, Cat. Kirby sucks. Alright, I have a lot of thank yous to be handing out, so let's get them rolling. First and foremost, Source Gaming. I could not have put this video together without their translations and their fact-checking of my scripts. They are the content kings of Smash content, so again, thank you to all my friends there for helping me out. You guys rock. Next, 64iOS. You know how I cut out Kirby from any background and pasted him to whatever I wanted? I could only have done that with 64iOS and him giving me the footage I needed to do so. And lastly, YerkDiff. He put together the thumbnail for this video, as well as the shirt design we are selling. So if you liked this video, you like Kirby, or you just like us, please go purchase one. It helps out both of us with whatever monetary issues we have. I know of my fair share, you know what I mean. But if you like the video, please give it a like. I feel like it's one of my best Know Your Moves to date, or best videos to date. And if you feel the same way, please give me that like so it can get out to more people. That is it from me today. Thank you for watching, everybody, and I will see you on the flip side.